Hello and welcome to My Movie Life Coach. I'm Deandra Reviews. Check out deandrareviewsitall.com where I review entertainment for the light it gives. And please follow and subscribe for all my other videos, Celebrity Energy, where I pull oracles according to celebrity albums while reviewing them. God, I'm acting like I'm just like the biggest deal. ASMR Reiki, where I review the newest releases according to ASMR Reiki, and of course my own artist journey, which I try to cover with this series. Today I'm kind of reviewing No Hard Feelings and trying to figure out how to unleash my inner JLaw. I frankly loved No Hard Feelings, No Harder Feelings. That will probably be the sequel name. And right now I'm trying to become the artist that I know I am in singing and acting. And if there's one thing that I've always admired, always admired about JLaw was she knew she was going to be famous. She just walks into rooms with like no doubt. Her and Timothée Chalamet, I've been to events with both of them, and I've always like, wow. Like, and you would think I've met a lot of celebrities, or at least, been in the rooms. I don't really like to introduce myself because, like, I don't know you. I know your character. And I've had a few interactions with celebrities that weren't nice, and it totally disappointed me because then you can't hear their music anymore, or you can't see their movies without thinking, oh, like, remember that time when he, threw coffee at me? So I kind of stay away and I just watch, and maybe it's part of my imposter syndrome, which I will discuss. But yeah, maybe it is because you just felt when they walked in the room, and not every celebrity feels this genuinely or humbly. Sometimes I feel like celebrities walk into these rooms feeling like they have to act like they're God, or they've convinced themselves they are, so they don't have to act right. But it's rare when you see somebody kind of enter like, I belong here, in a way where there's just doubt isn't even in the program. It's kind of like when you meet somebody who doesn't think about death, or never, or doesn't walk on this earth like they feel they're going to die. And I think a lot of people who suffer with anxiety often feel like that. And if you check out astrolove.blog, I do personal oracle readings and life coaching. And one thing I've realized with a lot of clients is that a lot of them who feel like they're dying, it's that they just feel like they're not living. And it's weird when you meet somebody who just doesn't have that concept. They're so present, and it doesn't matter whether they're morally good or bad. They're just in the moment, thinking that tomorrow is automatic. And what I felt like with them is that they felt like every room was automatic. Their entrance was automatic. And it wasn't in an arrogant way, it was in a floaty. I just enter. And that's something that I really want for me, because I think it's not even about arrogance, as I said. I think it's just about peace. Having so much peace with your talent, with your prosperity, and how they both connect with each other, that you just enter rooms. There's no need for doubt or overthought, or whether people are analyzing you, or whether you think you need to analyze them. And that's one thing that I've caught myself doing with my imposter syndrome. I love to analyze people. I love to watch them. And sometimes I think I watch them out of a fear that I will never be seen. And that's kind of the theme of No Hard Feelings. I thought it was raunchy and banal all at once, and kind of truthful to a lot of people who are in their 30s. 30s is the new 20s, 20s is the new infant. Um, it's just a lot of people, I think, especially in America, we've all been raised to believe that getting older also means getting an economy. And in not getting an economy that could support your living, a lot of people feel stunted in growth. How are you supposed to actually get the house and the kids and the husband and the debt free if you can't? If your job doesn't help you pay for any of that. If you still do have to live with your parents, if you still, yeah, it's just this feeling that because people have been stunted economically, in many ways, they have been stunted in maturity, but not in the sense of they're acting immature. They're just, it's kind of like being stuck in a dollhouse and you're not a doll. You know, do you start wearing doll clothes and doing these weird Barbie hand motions? You know, it's just feeling like you're trapped in a life that you are physically older, mentally older, and emotionally older than, but you're not economically. And that pull matters and it drags you down to have to kind of move and talk and sometimes act like you're still a kid. Like, you know, she's living in her mom's house and her mom had just passed away. And I don't recall if she went to college, but there's just this feeling of I'm juvenile. And I've had to become a caretaker for my mother while at the same time feeling like I need one, feeling uncared for, and not having a dad that did that for me. And that's definitely something I could relate to. You know, I think when you grow up with a single parent, you you do inevitably become like a partner as well. And it's hard. I always say kids know. Kids are very astute. And one of the tragedies of being a child is that they can be very wise and very strong and very smart. But often, especially with single parents, we can silence them and kind of make them, you know, in order to hide and not confront what we want to in order to hide and not confront the difficulties of being their parent, we just diminish their awareness as child. Oh, those are adult issues. You're a kid. You be a kid. Act like a kid. And that makes them grow up and it's kind of like they were adults when they were kids, and when they were kids, it's kind of like they became adults when they were kids, and when they were finally adults, they became kids. It kind of reverses everything, and I think that's what a lot of millennials and zillennials and older are feeling, this sense of I'm a kid adult. I am moving through life still stuck in the cages of childhood. You know, you're in your 30s living with your mom or your dad, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I'll take the garbage, or oh yeah, let me do this. And we we kind of can be very unforgiving and relentless in the sense of we'll just move out and struggle and suffer. And you know, it's your fault that you went to college. You knew what debts. I think we're incredibly harsh on people's choices to make their life better and doing their best. And that's what I loved about No Hard Feelings. There was just this feeling at the end of the movie, especially with JLaw's character, of grace that she gave herself at surviving and surviving enough to learn that she had stopped dreaming, and that's what she needed to do. You live when you dream. You survive when you repress. And she felt repressed by the dad that didn't love her, repressed by the death of a mom who did, in the feeling that maybe she is too old to go out for her dreams. And I think a lot of people feel like that, especially now, because we kind of all bought into the if you go to college and if you get a solid job, things will resolve. And that's just not happening for a lot of youth. And ultimately, No Hard Feelings. Yes, it's a sexual romp, with, you know, Jennifer Lawrence kicking ass naked. And it's really, really funny, but I think it's a perfect balance, and something we haven't seen in a long time in movies, of heartwarming and funny. It is raunchy, but and I like that. That's what I want with my own music, a real sweetness, heartfelt and heartwarming all at once, hopeful and a little tragic. And I want to get my JLaw out. I want people to see the star that I am, not simply because I want attention and fame does equal money nowadays, but also I think I've spent a lot of my life, similar to JLaw's character, hiding myself and thinking that in my cocoon I'm safe, but it's really that I'm just too cowardly to see even me. And I want my music to be that. I want it to be me visible. So check it out. Second Chance, September 14th.